once again we're back here, and on this one what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be going through a little bit of the sounds, instruments for the beat. We can do this. I'm gonna go through how I laid it out and a little bit of the vocals, how I mix the vocals and that sort of stuff. Taking a few little seconds to start, but here we go. Bam. So yeah, so let's start this. The beat itself is a dancey beat. I don't know, I've been making quite a few dancey beats lately. Right, but the first sound is a muted guitar. And muted guitar sounds like this. And that's basically the first part of the intro before the drop. So the intro to the drop actually goes from that sound, it goes into the muted guitar, but another pattern. You have a second muted guitar. Yeah, so if we follow, bam, 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 you have first muted, second, right? Bass line. Kick. Clap. Acoustic snare. Closed hi-hats. Open hi-hats. That's a shaker. Right. Shakers. Snare. So second snare drum. Right. Let's go back up a little bit here. I'll bring in these sounds so you can hear what it sounds like. You have two risers, one on the left, one on the right, different volumes. And you have a fluty synth. Right. So let's take a few steps back and go into the layout. So alright, the layout is this. So we go, if you see at the top, okay, you have these little markers. Alright. First verse. So the first 8 bars of the verse, it's kind of like just relaxing, you're just riding through. But if you listen at this point, there's subtle sounds coming in here. It's like little effects. Like an effect on the sound. I don't remember what it's called because I didn't name it. This is one of the examples of why you should always name your instruments. Okay. Right. So taking a step back once more. So My structure is an 8-bar intro into a 16-bar verse, then a 4-bar pre-chorus into an 8-bar chorus, into the second verse, which is another 16 bars, into a pre-chorus, which is another 4 bars, into a chorus, into a verse, 16 bars, into a bridge that is 8 bars, a pre-chorus. So from the bridge we drop into the pre-chorus. That's basically 4 bars into our chorus and an 8-bar outro. Go back from beginning. So we have intro, rises, guitar, hi-hat, clap. So basically little parts of it comes in. Drop the beat, the kick, bring back in the kick. Right? You can structure your songs a number of ways. I've structured lots of different songs different ways. But something you want to keep in mind, on average a song is about 3 minutes, 30 seconds. You have a lot of songs nowadays are shorter than that. It's only, never mind all of that, but you typically want a structure of intro into either verse, chorus. You can do a number of things, but you want the intro. The intro is the start of the song where we're going to start. So the intro and outro remains the same. Intro is at the beginning, outro is at the end. The rest of the structure in the middle, you can set it however you want it. On this specific one, it's the verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, bridge, pre-chorus, chorus, outro. Doing the structure, a lot of the time is kind of like feeling the rise, the down, the up, the down, basically make the beat move up and down. But you can also do this with syncopation, swing, strum. You can give it little swings and whatnot, but I add certain little bits with the editing, dropping certain bits, bringing in certain bits at certain points. Now, running into what I did for the vocals. Bam. Right? Anyone, if you're listening to my music for any amount of time, you would know the little slogan, tag, branding stuff that I do at the beginning. Right? But before I play all the vocals, I'm just going to say what it is and what I'm doing. I'm not going to go in depth in the processing. A lot of what I've explained before on the other videos about processing, that's more or less how I process the majority of the stuff that I'm recording. But on certain songs, there's variations. I'm not using the same exact thing. The concept is the same, but I'm probably using something else to do that. So boom, you have our intro section, you have my slogan, da 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 da. You have a backing vocal, which is panned to the left and right at 41. It's turned down so you can hear the tag. In this instance, the tag is playing the lead vocal, and then you have a backing to back up the tag. So in structures, what I do is, so if you look on this, lead vocal is up the middle, backing vocal left and right, 41. You have another layer of backing vocals that is 64 left and right. And then you have this thing that I call spice track, but it's actually the harmonies. Those are out further, 81. All right, so if you're looking on this main bit, what is happening here is the verses, the verses, verse. But these layers, the one that says backing vocal 1 and spice track, which is the harmony, they run from the beginning of the song all the way to the end. If you're looking at this little section here, you realize there's nothing really there because the chorus is down here. I don't know. It's just how I ended up recording it. I don't approach recording as like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I just go and then do whatever I'm doing, and at the end, oh, the structure is this. I use this amount of layers or whatever. So for the chorus, again, you have a backing layer, you have a harmony layer. This bit that's labeled extra, I think it's like the stabs. So I'm not singing the whole phrase. I'm just singing little points or the ending of the phrase on this one. Then you're followed with a layer of higher harmonies. You have the main chorus, so instead of having it up here, it's actually here. You have the second layer to the chorus there. All of those other ones that I showed, the backing, the harmonies, the stabs, the highs. Then we come into the actual first layer of the chorus, or the first main layer. You have the second layer, and then you have like some effect layers. Actually, this one would be a bass layer. So that would be bass. Right, but it has an effect. So let me just do this and bring in the layers one by one. So, because sometimes when I say layers and stuff, basically what I have worked out is this. When you sing or when you rap or whatever you're doing, if you're doing something musically, it's gonna be like a number of tones that you can get with your voice. It depends on one, how you're singing, two, layering. Do you have a high layer? Let me do this, so I'll go through this. Watch. So layer number one. It's a bass layer, but it has an effect from vocal bender. Then you have. So you see how this sounds? These are extra vocals. So the main chorus, the main two choruses would be these. And one's going left, one's going right. But you see, when I add in this effect, like, right? The same thing. Now I'm gonna add in the highs. So you're hearing some highs, but those are not my highs. So for me, this is me singing high. So if you listen to that and listen to this, have more bass in it. The other one is a higher pitch. So that's what I mean. So with these layers, you now have the stab. Actually, it's not a stab. I'm singing an extra harmony. So that's why I say the little stabs for there. And then I come singing. a whole like opposite harmony, counter melody harmony. Right. When you bring in the spice track or the what is supposed to be the harmony track, now the backing. So that's what I mean by layering. It's when you do choruses where you want some of the times, well, not all the time, but some of the times where you want is you want it to sound full, like a choir, like there's a group of people singing it. How you achieve that is you basically sing at multiple tones or the tones that you can. Use panning, reverb, and all these delays and stuff like that. Right? So those are the basic or the layers that I used on this song. I don't use all of this layers on every single song. I gave you a little breakdown of how I lay out the stuff and how I get it to sound the way it sounds. I'm gonna call it one for today, and we're gonna get back at this on the other one. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so when I upload videos you can get notified.